Could you maybe calm down, please? Calm down. No way, Jose. I thought they'll come kill him. It's for your own good, dang it. Our interpreted reporters are first to give up, even in the face of repeated stonewalling from the crew. Look, you ladies need to stop harassing these people or I'll have to ask you to. Your cops sure got a lot of nerve. You are the one who let terrorists run wild. Hoping to hide the fact that they brought these menace themselves to stop playing desperately to their story. Look, we're really not reading anything. This is a movie set. Said the girl who told me she done seen Birdie with her own dang eyes. I saw something, but that doesn't mean we're keeping monster here. Alright, break it up. Oh yeah. Oh, Mr. Hacho. And Sean. You're on the trail of this here monster infestation too, huh? No, we're on the trail of a criminal. Lang Zi says, the darkness of a criminal's heart can sometimes be compared to a monster. That is to say, a killer is no different from a monster, really. Agent Lang, this is highly regular, sir. You can allow members of the public onto the crime scene. These people are important witnesses. I need them to be here. Well, Agent Lang, here we are. Where do you intend to begin? Let's start by summing up the facts. President Wang's body was discovered here this morning. He hadn't been seen since the night before the last. Yes, he slipped out without his bodyguard noticing, if I remember correctly. So he was missing for over a day. And the last person to see him alive was you, Judge Gavel, on the roof of the big building. Why did the two of you arrange to meet? I'm sorry, but I can't say. Not even to defend yourself from an accusation to murder? Why? Why can't you just tell us? Please, Judge Gavel, we're trying to help you. Ha! She can't say because she'll only incriminate herself more. I know you had something to do with the president's murder, and I'm going to prove it.
Objection!
You said yourself that the body was only found this morning. How do you explain the time that passed between Judge Gavel's meeting with the... That's exactly what I'm hoping you're about to find out. The meeting with the president. I'm particularly interested in what happened last night. So why don't you tell us exactly how it all went down? Sean Fan? Me? You know you were here on the set last night. You were... Sean? You have testimony from... Even the milk is getting sweaty. He's sweating. We have testimony from the woman over there, and forensics evidence from the footprints that proves it. You came back to run your lines, right? What? You were spying on me? I'm sorry. I was just making sure you were okay. It was late. I was worried about you. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't need you to worry about. Sean, that's no way to talk to an adult. She was trying to look out for you. Apologize this instant. Sorry. I've told you before, I won't have you speaking people that way. Wow, this is a whole new Judge Gavel. It seems she's just as strict with her son as she is with those who break the law. Are you listening to me? If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. You must... Damn. We're seeing a lecture here. And I want you to remember that alright. Can we get on with the investigation now? Oh, of course. Forgive me. I don't think I've ever seen her so passionate about anything. I guess Judge Gavel the murder will take a little getting used to. Are we to understand that you're accusing Sean of being involved somehow, Agent Lang? I just want the truth. I need to know why the president was killed. And by who. And I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find out. I guess it makes sense for him to be so determined if the president was practically family. Alright, Sean. Perhaps you could tell us what happened last night. fine by me. I've got nothing to hide. Alright. I had a bad day yesterday. Messed up a couple of takes. We were scheduled to shoot some scenes again today. So I thought, I put in some extra practice. And that's what I did. It's that simple. It's not like I haven't done it before. It was fine. Nothing happened. You've been rehearsing late at night again? When I called you yesterday evening, Sean, you said you were at the hotel. You called him? Around what time? It must have been 11 p.m. or thereabouts. It's one of our rules. When Sean stays away from home, we have to speak every night. Yeah, well, I wasn't at the hotel. I was here on the set. So you lied to me. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, now she's mad. I think it's kind of amazing how hard he wants to work on his acting though. Nonetheless, a parent can't help but worry. A child alone late at night, anything could happen to him. And indeed it did. He got himself entangled in this case. But he said nothing happened, right? He did, although I can't help but wonder if he was telling the truth. Global Stadium. Wait a minute. The filming dates, nothing, insurance number, permit type, cat size. Okay.
Hold it!
A bad day. Could you elaborate a little? What? I have to spell it out for you? It was just bad, okay? Huh, what do you think? Did he drink too much milk maybe? How did you... I mean, no, nothing like that. But it might be more accurate to say that his stomach had a bad day. Huh, I thought milk was supposed to be good for digestion. Shut up, we're not talking about that. The point is I messed up the steaks.
Hold it!
So you wanted to rehearse your lines in preparation for the reshoots. Yeah, I caused enough trouble for everybody, messing things up the first time around. I wasn't about to do that again. I'm a pro. One can only admire his dedication and his sense of responsibility to his coworkers. Don't take his work so seriously. He's a real inspiration to everybody. Even the text he said in his stuff. It wasn't like there was actually a problem. He just wanted to make them as good as they could be. He always says that even a tiny bit better is... Shut up! Why do you always have to say stuff people don't need to hear? Sorry, Sean. He could maybe work on his people skills a little more. Anyway, as I was saying. So I thought I'd put in some extra practice. And that's what I did. It's that simple.
Hold it!
Sean, about what you just said. How many times have I met you promise? If you're going to rest on your own, you have to tell me. I know. Well, that little outburst rather stole my thunder. Let me ask again, about what you just said. I think it's good. Sean? More interruption. It's all the hours of practice that make you the best you can be. Little by little by little. I'm the same. I went from small-time thief to Everest thief, and before I know it, greatness begun. But now I finally made it. I'm not about to stop being my best, and neither should you. Ahem. May I continue? Now, Sean, do you often rehearse alone? Finally, I got my question out without being interrupted.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? What do you mean? Of course I'm sure. It was just regular evening. Nothing out of ordinary. Huh? A regular evening? How can you say that? Somebody was... Okay, he's just a child. You mustn't be too hard on him. Nothing happened. Really? Nothing to do with the case anyway. At least that's what it sounds like he wants us to believe. But wait, don't we have some evidence related to what happened last night? We do, and we also don't have time to be humoring the loss of a child. That is what it. We have to point out the contradiction in his testimony. Nothing happened. I'm sorry, but you're lying. This proves it beyond doubt. Wait, that's... How did you... That's right. Your rehearsal tape. Gah. What? You have a video footage from last night? We do. And if you watch it, you'll see that it was an ordinary evening. There's a footprint here already? There is, and I'm not sure that's an effortless sight even on a film set. Sean, why would you keep this from me? No reason. Liar, that stuff might work for on your mommy kid, but it's not going to work for me. But why did you hide the tape? Sean, you have to tell us. You? Look, I just didn't want anybody to see me rehearsing, okay? I don't like it. So you're embarrassed, is that it? Yeah, what's so weird about that? That's why you didn't hand over the vital evidence? Sean, how could you? Oh, give me a break. You know about it now, don't you? Sure, the footprint was there, but I just trained my lens and went home. That was it. What, and nothing at the giant monster footprint stuck you as well? It's a giant monster footprint. On the set of a giant monster movie. It's not like there isn't all kind of other weird stuff around here. I don't buy it for a second, Chip. There's something hinky about this kid. Sure as I'm standing right here. Dang Skippy, there he is. He's hiding scoop under damn their horns, or my name ain't loaded up. Ah, shut up, both of you. I'm done talking.
Objection!
No, you're not. What? The footprints isn't the only strange thing about last night. What other unusual occurrence happened yesterday evening? What happened yesterday evening? Yesterday evening. The statue.
Take that!
The model of Tarosaurus head fell from the roof of the trailer room. Did you expect us to believe that you knew nothing about that? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that so? I told you. I ran my lines. I went home. That was it. What do I know about some stupid falling head? Or are you saying you can prove I know something? Sadly not. It's entirely possible that the entire head fell after shock. No proof, huh? Then this conversation is over. Something tells me he doesn't want to talk about last night any more than is absolutely necessary. What is he like? Hold it right there. What is it, Agent Lang? So it's just as I thought. Thanks, Mr. Prosecutor. This footage of yours backs up my theory nicely. What? There was something else on that tape? Yep. Look closely. See the costume up in the top left? Oh yeah, the Tarosaurus suit. Something different. Do you see it? I'm not sure. It's just kinda hanging out and looking a little saggy. Oh, and the zipper on his back done up tight. The zipper? That's... Huh, yeah. I guess you all see it now, right? On the tape, the zipper is wide open. Why? Because somebody inside the suit, that's why. What? Mr. Powers, that zipper. What can you tell us about it? Well, we always close it up tight when the suit is in the news. That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. And do you remember something else I said not so long ago? Let me refresh your memory. You're saying the body could have been hidden in the Tarosaurus sweatsuit? That's exactly what I'm saying. Isn't that right, Gabriel? You pushed the president off the roof, just like I said. Then you hid his body inside the costume. I most certainly did not. What the hell you like? I'm not going to believe you. You're the only person who could have done this. I thought we already proved that it would have been impossible. The movie set was locked at the time. There's no way that Gabriel would have been able to get it. What if she had an accomplice? What? I've got a little theory for you. I think you're going to like it. Don't tell me that the child dragged a really buff president body into the costume. There's no way. What if Sean was waiting down here when Gabriel pushed the president off the roof? If the two of them are working together, the problem of the lock goes away. They then work to hide the body together too, by dragging it over the Tarosaurus suit and stuffing it inside. You think the murder was really that carefully planned? It was the assassination of a world leader. It could only have been carefully planned.
Overruled.
To suggest that Sean could have been involved in this it's unthinkable. You're my prime suspect. What makes you think I'm going to listen to a word you say? But what about motive? What reason will either of them have to kill President Wang? Who knows, but we'll find out soon enough. He was the last one to meet with him, and she won't tell us why. Pretty darn suspicious. Even you have to agree with that. Yes, Gabriel, I don't suppose I can convince you to share any more details? My apologies, but that is the one thing I cannot do. However, rest assured, if that ever changes, you will be the first to know. So please, you have to believe me? Heh! Murders have a habit of saying that. What about you, kid? Any excuse to offer? If so, now's the time to get them off your chest. Pah! I got nothing to say to you. I'm innocent. But as tight-lipped as each other, huh? But let me guess, you're still going to try and stick up for them. It's true, Judge Gabriel's action certainly makes her seem suspicious. But nothing she has told us amounts to a motive for murder, or even suggestion of one. No, and like I said, I'm leaving motive aside for now. For the moment, I'm focusing on means and opportunity. And for my money, these two had been working together for their little plot to succeed.
Hold it!
You're seriously suggesting that the child could have been an accomplice in this murder? Look at him, he's still in elementary school. There's no way a kid that young would be involved in something like this. I think I mentioned that he's in junior high, right? Like Z says. Betty now Wolf. Be he cub or grizzled elder. It doesn't matter how young he is. If he's guilty, he's guilty. And he'll be treated as such. Wow, Wolf cubs have it hard, huh? I'm surprised at you, Mr. Prosecutor. You're saying he deserves mercy just because of his age? Of course not. He did this, and I'm going to prove it to you. Huh, I look forward to it. But be warned, I'm only just getting warmed up.
Hold it!
Goes away how exactly? Heh, I thought you might try this, but you and I both know exactly how. Let me make it nice and simple for you. First, she pushes the president of the room. Pushes. Okay. Then the kid opens the combination lock, because he knows the code. Yep, kid opens code, knows lock, getcha. Okay, the other way around. And that's it. It's that simple. No more lock to worry about. And no more objections about her not being able to get in because she didn't know the code. That will explain away the problem of the lock, it's true. Thank you for your clear and incisive explanation, Agent Lang. Please continue. I will, and hopefully this next part will shut you up for good.
Hold it!
But if the two of them are working together, why would they need to hide the body for a full
Now
hour?
go back!
In front of you. Thanks to that little ruse, we're still puzzling over what they were up to even now. But if you let me speak, I can clear up this whole mess once and for all. Ready? Good. So like I was saying, they work together to hide the body.
Hold it!
The video footage doesn't show inside of the cell. You can't say for certain that there was a body in there at the time, can you? Maybe not, but we can take a look right now. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I put money on us finding proof that it was there. Do you mind if I examine the suit, Mr. Powers? Oh, not at all. Make me a little rabbit draw, though. Gets pretty sweaty in there. Huh, it's filthy. Yeah, that's weird. I always clean that pretty good if you don't, it can kinda get moldy.
Now go back!
In other words, what you're looking at is proof that somebody other than you used the costume. That dirt in there must have come from the body. I guess the president was lying right in the middle of that picture. He probably would have gotten pretty dirty. Exactly, well, everybody happy?
Objection!
So our assumption is that the inside of the suit is dirty because it came from the body. Would it be safe to say that that's the case? Why? Is there a problem? Problem? The part of the suit directly in front of the opening is particularly dirty. Yeah, it really is. But look at the victim. The area of his body that would have been in contact with that part of the suit isn't dirty at all. If the victim had been crime in there, as he suggests, it's surely covered in there. Yeah. Fine, so what's your explanation? How did all that dirt go inside there? Based on the theory that there may well have been somebody in the suit at the time. So who was it if it wasn't the president? Come on, Kay, think. Where was it? Is something the matter here? I've seen dirt like that somewhere else, I'm sure of it. I just can't think of it. Dirt with weird little gray bits. Gray bits? It's right, there's something missing there. It was stuck something else we looked at. Lots of it. Stuck to something we looked at. An item of evidence maybe. Probably worth checking.
Take that!
As Kay pointed out, the dirt in the suit contains small flakes of something gray. And we discovered similar flakes stuck on an item belonging to somebody we recently had dealings with. The item in question being the gloves, these gloves. You're right, the dirt does look similar. But, so what? What are you saying? What are you saying this stuff is? What exactly are these grey flakes of yours? I believe the grey flakes are... concrete? Surely they're flakes of concrete. Oh, like all the little broken up bits around the footprints you mean? Exactly. And who did the gloves on which we found similar dirt and grey flakes belong to? Chairman Winner, we found them in his garage. That's right, we visited the garage at Isom earlier today, and we found a pair of mechanic gloves covered in dirt. And if I recall correctly, a sledgehammer and a shovel too. Why would a pair of mechanics gloves be covered in dirt? I'll tell you why. Because somebody wore them while they used that hammer and shovel. They smashed over the contour to the dirt below, staining the gloves with what substance. Wait, so you're saying? Yes, that they finally knew what these footprints really are. It seems highly likely that they were dug by German men. Highly likely? Bah! If that's so, then tell me this. Why the heck did he make them? What purpose could they possibly serve? Why indeed, I imagine he must have digging something up. I think he must have been digging something up. I imagine events unfolded somewhat like this. There was something on this lot that he needed to unearth. In order to do so, he cut the chain on the side, entrance, and gained access from there. He then used the sledgehammer and shovel to dig 3 footprints. When he found what he was looking for, he bagged it up and filled it in all the holes. But then Sean must have showed up, right? I think he did, yes. German Winner would have had to find a hiding place, and the Tyrannosaurus had provided just that. Gah. You got all that from a pair of... It's good, but it's all just speculation. We don't have any proof that he was inside that suit. He could have dug those holes and gotten out of there before the kid even showed up. But he didn't, and there's proof of that right there in the footage. I know that German Winner was still present when this recording was made. What? It's a shame that Agent Lang did not notice it himself. But if you compare the situation as you see it now, to the situation as it refers to the Sean's rehearsal tape, and compare that in turn to what we saw in German Winner's garage, it soon becomes clear that German was present.
Take that!
Look at the bag next to the Tyrannosaurus suit. We saw some same bag in German Winner's garage. The same bag, the dirt on the gloves. That has to indicate connection, surely. I think that pretty much seals it. It was Excelsior's Winner in the suit. And if he was in there, the president's body cannot win. Aya! Good, it seems I've convinced Agent Lang of the flaws in this theory. Somebody get to the German Winner's house, right away. We need to know what's in that bag. Yes, sir. What's that again? You all done lost your minds? I can't believe what I'm hearing. What is this, Oxville? This is how we know. Damn right, there's Tara's footprints, dang it. And no horse stuck by no old guy. I think I've demonstrated more than adequately that's exactly what they are. Don't matter to me. Not what you just done did. I don't believe it. And that's that. I done told you all seen that big bad bull with my own 2 eyes. The giant eye peering at the window. I thought we couldn't pass that nonsense. We ain't about to let it go. What kind of journalists will be if we did, huh? Responsible ones? But I guess that's the whole problem. Wait. Ain't like it was just about the footprints now, huh? You were saying one of them their monster, ain't that correct, young man? But the young lady over there, if I'm not very much mistaken. We're never going to get anywhere with this two around. Maybe if we could prove that wasn't a monster either, we might finally drop it. What do you think, Mr. Ashford? Any bright ideas? Prove that it wasn't a monster. Fine, I don't suppose there's much else for it. Let's see what we can do. What are you whispering about? You're all hiding something, ain't ya? Admit it. Quick, Debbie, roll tape.
Hold it!
Could I politely ask the Chewbot calm down? The monster the boy was sent out into, we know what it was, right? Huh? That's right. Sounds rehearsal tape finally clear up that particular mystery. It did? so-called monster is like here in this picture. Huh? I don't see no Gordy. There ain't nothing but a damn statue. You're talking to a pro here. And fool me, not that photography.
Take that!
That's right. It was a camera crane. That is what Miss Nicole saw, not Gordy. What? John's rehearsal tape was shot from a noticeably elevated viewpoint. A viewpoint that would only have been possible if the camera in question was attached to a crane. Fool! How the heck would she make a mistake like that?
Objection!
How indeed? Miss Nicole? Yes? I told us that you think you might need new glasses, didn't you? Yeah, my eyesight got way worse all of a sudden. And I imagine when you thought you saw Gordy, but he was quite heavily shrouded in darkness. That's right, I only really saw a silhouette. But you don't told us. Skin like an enormous frog, he said. Try and tell us your precious crane up and lose skin somehow? And even no flesh on their metal bones, let alone skin. You're entirely correct, of course, about the crane as it was in a particular picture anyway, but it did have a skin of a soft snake. I know you're a scoop hater, but this is dumb crazy. You want Tabby and me stuff, is that it? That wasn't my intent at all. But I do think it's time to finally put them both out of their misery. Gordy's skin is right here in front of us.
Take that!
Miss Nicole told us that it seems likely to rain last night. That never happened in there, but I think Sean may have covered the crane with rainproof sheeting nonetheless. And that may interpret young reporters is what Miss Nicole mistook for Gordy's skin. What? Oh heck. Well, Sean, am I mistaken? You see everything, don't you? Gotta say, you're pretty amazing. I'm sorry, Miss Nicole Monster was no such thing. It's simply a trick of the light. Just like that, the dream dies again. Chief. I think that may have finally set them up. I thought the kid was holding out on us, but it seems I could have been a little wrong, maybe. Alright, we know what the so-called monster was now. Everybody happy? Everybody except this though. Agent lying. The president autopsy report is out, sir. Is it? It is? Let me see it. That was due to the full body contusions and bone breakage caused by extreme pressure from above. So yeah, we have our cause of death. He was crushed, just as we thought. The soul still haven't come back from the yellow substance on his chest, but it did find gunshot residue on his right hand. Gunshot residue? Guess he was a kid. At heart, huh? Gunshot residue, okay? It's a substance left behind when a firearm is discharged. Its presence indicates that the president may have used the gun. Really? But we didn't find the gun. Indeed not, which makes the residue something of a riddle. We'll need to take a read that report carefully. Well, Agent Lang, that clears one thing up at least. The president did die from a fall, which means he wasn't pushed from the roof of the big building. He was crushed by a falling Tyrannosaurus head, just as we said he was. Now, fine, you were right. Amazing. So does that mean Judge Gable isn't suspect anymore either? Surely it must. What the cause and time of death rule her out? She might be with the president like before last. But puts the time of death around 11 PM last night. And we know that the towers had fell around them. Too, the facts all line up perfectly. Phew, what a
Knock
relief.
'em back!
Sorry, it might be a little too soon to celebrate. What? Sure, I think we can accept that. The falling head must have been what killed the president. But that begs question, what could have caused the fall? Or who? We know it happened last night, so we have to think about who was here at the time.
Overruled!
What are you getting at, exactly? You can't mean... I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean! The kid's hiding something. He was right here last night, right where the body was found. He saw the footprints. And yet he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened? That's a big X, seriously.
Objection!
We haven't yet established the footprints had anything to do with the murder. But even if he did see them, that doesn't mean he was involved. Maybe not, but his face tells me different. As does the fact that he's shaking like a leaf. It does seem like Agent Lang might be onto something, but I don't think Sean's going to talk. Fine, keep your mouth shut, kid. I have better idea. Why don't you let your tape do the talking? What exactly are you planning, Agent Lang? The police have some pretty sophisticated image analysis tools these days. You will go to such extreme lengths to see my son convicted? It's not ideal, but if the boy won't talk, we don't have any other way of getting to the truth. Detective Gamshu, you have access to exactly such a device, do you not? Sure do, little B. Good, then this should make things easier. Mr. Richard, might I request that it be you who carries out the analysis in question? Why me? I fear the agent might be inclined to believe the worst. Image analysis isn't exactly my specialty, but right, alright. And there are new clues discovered somewhere. The image, I wonder.
Eureka!
What the? What is it, Mr. Richard? Let me see, let me see. Hmm? Eek! What is it? What's the matter? Show me. Mr. Richard, the court asks you that you share your findings. Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely. There's a person there. It's... the president? Oh my. What? You're kidding me, right? Well, I say that's pretty decisive, won't you? This doesn't look good for Sean at all. Wait, this isn't for vanity. I know he was there. I don't believe you. And they must that something very important. That you and the president were here at the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid. You murdered President Wang. No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he? Sean, you didn't. You can't have, can you? What do we do, Mr. Richard? It's hard to push back against footage like that. Surely, even you can deny that this looks pretty bad for the kid, Mr. Prosecutor. He claimed he knew nothing about what happened. But the president right there with him. Sean, what are you not telling us? We have to know. He's right, Sean. Be honest now. It's the only way. The truth is, it was all my fault. Sean, what did you do? It was my fault. The Pterosaurus set fell off the trailer. I went up to the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using. Oh shit. And I turned on the heater while I was there. I must left it burning when I came back to run my lights. Then my mom called and I left the set to go talk to her. When I came back after the car, the Tyrannosaurus had fallen from the roof and the president was just there lying next to it. No. We did find evidence of a fire having broken out up on the roof. It was just a tiny one. So I put it out myself. The president died because of Sean. If you did, that would make this whole thing just an accident. What did you do with the head after you found it on the ground? I took it apart, carried the pieces up to the roof, and put it back together again.
Not so fast!
You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back to where it fell from? In other words, you tried to cover your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid. It's not like I did any of this on purpose. I really did just forget to turn the heater on. And when the fire had burned through the logs, the table would have collapsed, and the head would have fallen down onto the ground below. You're right, the fire caused the head to fall. Indeed, and I also happen to have an idea about how the fire map started. Those kind of paint thinner by the heater are pretty flammable, not great place to keep them.
Not so fast!
And you swear it was an accident. Seems a little convenient. What was the president even doing here in the first place? How the heck am I supposed to know? I didn't say anybody, I swear. I still don't believe it. Why would the president come to a place like this in the middle of the night? His reason for coming are something of a mystery is true. He met Judge Gable up on the roof 2 nights ago. But he was also here on the movie set last night. Did he come to meet Sean? I think we need to go over the boy's statement very carefully indeed. I went up on the roof to the trailer to prepare.
Hold it!
You're a fit and hardy young man, Sean. It's spring now. Surely you'll need to fire up that stove.
Overruled!
He's fit and hardy young man who needs to look after him.
Objection!
Really, Your Honor, but if he resorts to such measure even during warm weather. Seriously? You two are going to argue over something like that right now? That's right, of course. You've made your point, Sean. But I've told you before to watch how you talk to people. I think he was criticizing as much as he was me, Your Honor. Anyway, where was I?
Hold it!
You left it burning? You didn't think to check before you came back down the loft? I meant to, but I was thinking about my lunch and the scenes and everything else. It's not my fault I forgot. Everybody forgets stuff. I sure do. So much stuff. I left the air conditioner on in the stretch of the office and the lights. I forget that he told me never to jump off the ladder and on his bookshelf or make prank calls. But the one thing I would never ever forget to do is turn off an unattended heater. Please, Sean, you go out. Jeez, a lot. Anyway, as I was saying.
Hold it!
It was the middle of the night, and the set was deserted. Why did you need to leave in order to talk to your mother? I forgot I was supposed to talk to her. I got confused, I guess. I thought if I didn't leave, to find out I was at the hotel at night on my own. That doesn't make sense. You know that, don't you? Fine, look at the camera was rolling. And then make sure I'll leave, okay? Live, okay? I didn't want our conversation on that tape where anybody could hear it. He was embarrassed about being recorded speaking on the phone to his mother. So I ditched the rehearsal and ran off set as quick as I could.
Hold it!
You pretend to your mother that you were back to the hotel during the call, correct? How come you couldn't tell her you were coming to set to practice your lines? Because she he have a phone at the hotel and ask them to send a car to get me or something.
Overruled.
Of course I will do. A child rat shouldn't be out this hour late at night. Anything could happen to you. Children really can't seem to see things from their parents' perspective, can they? It's true, the other way around too, you know? Alright, Sean. Can you tell us what happened when you came back after speaking to your mother? Huh? Oh, sure. So, I came back and...
Hold it.
Were there any signs in that it was about to fall before you left? I don't remember. I was concentrating on my lines. And a fire had broken on the roof because of the heater I forgot to turn on. Did you really hear nothing the entire time? No, I had my headphones on. Huh? Why? I was playing the soundtrack to the movie to help me concentrate, and I was playing it loud. So yeah, I definitely didn't hear anything. Except for the sound of your phone ringing and Jessica Bell called you. You know that cell phone's favorite these days, right? Anyway. Next to it.
Hold it.
Did you notice anything unusual about the body? I don't know. It was there. It suddenly seems even more resident than usual. I don't think he wants to go back to all of that memory any more than he has to, Mr. Rancho. I'm sure he doesn't. But is that really all it is? I should push him a little more. Will I push him a little more? Or at least... It was there, but you know it was a body nonetheless. That's... Hi. He's hiding something. I will find out what. Most people would cry out or they saw somebody lying on the ground. And yet you didn't. Yes, because... What was the point? He was dead. So you said, what an intercept in this. How you were able to be so sure? Why were certain that he was dead? He was lying on the ground and that huge head was right next to him. It didn't take much to figure out what must have happened.
Objection.
He couldn't have guessed that the impact would have killed him. How did you really know? I'll tell you how, because you checked. Fine, I checked, okay? I was scared, but yeah, I went up to the body and I looked and he wasn't breathing. So I was right. But why did I hide the body? There must be a reason. Could you tell me how the body looked at that point? I couldn't tell, it was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, so it was hard to be so sure. Nothing on his clothes either, it was completely clean. But yeah, he wasn't breathing. So that's how I knew he was dead.
Hold it.
Pressed again. So there was no blood or any other markings that would have told you that it was left for dead. Would you say that my characterization of your statement is correct? You know I would, and you saw the body too. So you know I'm telling the truth. You also told us that the lot was dark at the time, and yet you were still able to confirm all this? What is your problem? There was nothing on his face, and nothing on his clothes, okay? Thank you, Sean. I think that tells everything I need to know. While focus on how clean his clothes were. Mine are freshly washed, at least. Perhaps you could give us a few details about how exactly you confirmed that the president was dead. Well, I couldn't tell just from standing there.
Hold it.
How did you confirm that he was no longer breathing? They told us how it's put. You put your cheek next to the person's nose. If they're breathing, you can feel it. Never thought I actually have to do it in real life. I mean, it's good that they teach you on this stuff, but yeah, it takes guts to do it for right. Not bad for an elementary school kid. He's in junior high, okay? Try to remember at least that much. Must have been quite sharp coming back and seeing that body just lying there. And this was a dead body with a giant Tyrannosaurus head right next to it. Yes, I'm sure it must have been very upsetting. But it does sound like it was an accident, right? Yeah, at least it does the way Sean tells it.
Objection.
Nothing on his clothes. Nothing at all. Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that? Or something you're clearly hoping that we forgot? What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true. Unluckily for you, we remember. I'm talking, of course, about the yellow speckles on the president's chest. You've studiously avoided mentioning them throughout your testimony. An absence I find suspicious to say the least. That's... I hope for your sake that you have a satisfactory explanation.
Overruled.
Just give well. Allow me to explain. But the yellow residue on President's chest. I imagine it was from the bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies to be precise. Lion lilies? 2 nights ago when I met the president on the roof of the big building, I presented him with a bouquet. They're the type of lily with large yellow petals. I imagine that the substance on President's wings chest was pollen from those flowers. But they're not there in a printout from the security camera, only because the president is in the way. But why give him flowers? That is not something I'm at liberty to divulge. What? More secrets? Are you serious? First you two wouldn't tell us why you met with him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers? My sincerest apologies, but all I can tell you is that I gave him the bouquet.
Objection!
A bouquet that was nowhere near the body when it was discovered. How do you explain that? I cannot. Ha! Seriously, Your Honor. Some things you won't explain, the rest you can. Come on, you've got to give us something. You will let this fly in the courtroom. What makes you think we'll accept it? Hey, you leave her alone. Sean, I threw the flowers away, okay? You did? So they were there when you first found the body? Yeah, they were right there on his chest. And they were squashed completely flat. Oh, I guess that makes sense, right? They would have gotten crushed along with the president. And the pollen would have been smeared across his jacket front. That does explain things rather neatly. But why remove the bouquet and dispose of it? No reason. Sean, you're being He's almost as evasive as his mother's. More secrets, they're quite a pair.
Overruled.
There's no secret. I know exactly why Sean disposed of the bouquet. Huh? Logic. You saw me leave the house with it, didn't you? Oh no. Oh, I get it. When you saw the flowers on the president's body, remember seeing your mom with them, and felt the need to prevent her from coming under suspicion. No, you've got it all wrong. That's his least convincing lie. I often decorate our home with lions. I imagine that's why you remember.
Not so fast!
So the flowers his mother was carrying showed up on the president's body, and because of that, he got rid of the bouquet and kept quiet about having discovered the corpse. Ha! Well, that ties everything out nicely, doesn't it? A little too nicely for my taste. Why? What's wrong with nice? I guess you forgot, huh? The kid also told us that he was responsible for the head falling in the first place. Yeah, he did, but... So he's still our only suspect.
Objection!
The finger of his suspicion still seems to be pointing firmly in Sean's direction, however. Wait. I can think of a far more likely culprit than the boy. What? Who? The person who was holding Sean captive until only a short while ago. That's right, we need to rescue him from warehouse refrigeration until down to the harbor. A refrigeration unit in a depot? Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't switched on rockets made of frozen into a popsicle otherwise. He was doing his best to call out for help, which is how we found him. Had to run off by then, so he was wide awake and plenty loud. Fugitives. Isn't that what you are given? Yep, we found that bottle on the floor of the unit. It was even the same brand. There is it. Apparently it's supposed to run. Well, Agent Lang, surely that suggests that Sean is a victim, not a suspect. Somebody else was responsible. I think that they've been behind all
Not
this.
so fast!
Oh yeah? And this secret mastermind of yours, was here last night too? That, I can't yet say. Huh, it's not like you to be so fake, Mr. Prosecutor. Sadly, we just don't have anything to tie our mysterious kidnapper to the murder of the president. So is there anybody else? Somebody other than Sean, who could have committed the murder? Of course. So I was right. The kids still are on this.
Objection!
Not quite. I can think of another. What? Somebody who is just recently proven was right here on the movie set last night. Chairman Winner? You think he killed President Wang? Why not? We've proven that he was present. And if he was here, he's viable as a suspect. As anybody else, won't you say? Winner? Could he really have? It's certainly another possibility to consider. 12 years ago, he was... This number again. Agent Lang, what happened 12 years ago? It's nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with... It's clearly connected to this
Not so
case.
fast!
And you can prove that, can you? Go ahead, show me some proof that what happened 12 years ago has anything to do with this. Proof? If you can prove it, this conversation's over.
Take that!
This is a report about Bronco. It was sent to Chairman Winner by Warden Lagarde. The last part in the particular should be of interest to you. Retrieve the package we let rest 12 years ago in front of the planter. And that's not all. Take a look at this. This letter was sent to Roseringa, the victim of murder that happened the night before last. We don't know who sent it, but it does say this. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. What? But... Sometimes, something strange is going on, Agent Lang. Miss Ringer was murdered the night before last, and President Wang not long afterward. There's a connection between the two murders. There has to be. And I believe we can trace that connection to events that appears in the past, am I wrong? These are old wounds you're opening here. Insult to my family name. Please, Agent Lang, we need to know. What's that? Shifu! Huh? What are you all doing here? We came to find you, sir. We heard you were looking into the incident from 12 years ago. Idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your duties right now. We can do that, sir. What? You're disobeying direct order? Please, sir, I'm begging. We all are. We have to reopen the investigation into the SS5 incident. We know you can let it go until you figure out what happened, and we can't either. Well, Agent Lang, it seems your former underlings want the events of the past explained too. You think it's that easy? That you could solve the case just like that? I think we can, together. Well, alright then. Offer accepted. Yes, Shifu. Nice, then I guess it's my turn to step up. I'm sorry, Kay. You're looking into case from the past, right? I just happen to have something that will help with that. Ah, you mean Mr. T? Sure do. If you can give me the details of the incident, I can rustle up a little simulation for you. Sadly, we don't have the files relating to the case. Huh? How come? Access to those files is restricted. They're top secret. Really? Why? Beats me. Somebody must have something to hide. Even I've never seen them. Everything I know I read in newspaper articles from the time. That's fine. Just tell us what you can. Alright. The SS5 incident. This is so serious. Next day, 12 years ago, February 10 to be precise, your police received a call directly from the kidnapper. I've got the president of Zengfa. So he was kidnapped? Yeah, SS5 is the official designation of the president's kidnapping case. The kidnappers wanted $100 million. $100 million? How much money even is that? More than you can imagine, it seems. The last person to see President that night was my father. We were together at the embassy of Zengfa until midnight on the 10th. And nobody knows what happened to the President after that until he was kidnapped. Our government did everything he could to scrape together the money. They were desperate to save him. And in the end, they succeeded. The money was handed over. The President came home safely. So President Wang was at Hanja even back then. Wow, go Mr. President. The length of time he stayed in power isn't even close to the most impressive thing about him. Agent Lang was clearly very fond of President Wang. I assume the kidnapping was thoroughly investigated. It was, but the investigation was top secret, as was the trial. The trial? So, a suspect was arrested? Yeah, none other than our friend, Fifi Lagarde. What? Is that why you visited the prison? It is. I was to put on my country from the Interpol, so I thought I happened 12 years back. I was dealing with. She was found not guilty then, wasn't she? Yeah. My father was in charge of the president's security at the time, but they held him responsible for the kidnapping and stripped him of his duties as presidential bodyguard. He stayed on the foster, and he worked the case alone until eventually he found a suspect, a guard, and he thought she did it, and there's no way she was innocent. But they declared her not guilty, and the case went cold. My father couldn't take it. He was broken mentally and physically. Finally, he quit the force together. So he had solid grounds to suspect more than the guard. He must have had evidence. He wouldn't have charged her otherwise. But I've never been able to see the materials from the case. I'm sorry, but that's all I know. What do you do, Mr. Ashworth? This is useful information, but I don't think it's enough for a little tip to recreate the scene. Is there really nothing you can do? You look like you could use it. Who's this now? Francisca and Mr. Fender. We finally wrapped things up over at the courthouse, so we thought we see you kids were up to it. Here. What's this? It says SS5 Incident Investigation Report. When Fifi Lagarde mentioned an incident from 12 years ago earlier, I couldn't help but wonder. So I decided to look into it, and this was what Interpol provided. That's all, Francisca. Don't get the wrong idea, Miles said short. You're no longer a prosecutor. I didn't do this for you. I did it so that the colleague could solve his father's final case. I owe you, sis. But everything related to the SS5 incident was supposed to be top secret. Yes, but that classification was applied by the prosecutor in charge of the case, Excelsius Winner. He was the prosecutor in charge? Him again? Don't worry. Due to the outcome of this morning's case, he's been stripped of his authority. And this is no small part thanks to the efforts of his own son, Eustace. So in defeating his father, he made the whole case available to us. It sounds like we owe him. Prosecutor Eustace Winner is busy wrapping things up after the conclusion of the Lagarde trial, but he asked me to give you a message. Tell me. You focus on your case over there. Huh. He's even starting to sound like a prosecutor. Indeed he is. Alright. Now we have the case file. I can recreate the scene, no problem. Excellent. Let's get started. Huh? According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now. Then what are we waiting for? With me, everybody. Alright, Kay. If you could set Mr. Thief in motion. Sure, looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start? Good question. Let's see. It seemed there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldon. Apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the kidnapping. So this is where he saw it all happen, huh? Huh, here. As in the big building? No, construction of the big building only began a year ago. Before that, it hadn't been a piece of abandoned property. And before that, now we're getting to the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been the happy family home. Like for retired people? Without parents. An orphanage, in other words. The president was kidnapped from an orphanage? Yeah, and the place was run by Fifi Lagarde. She called it her happy little home. As the perpetrator of the institution, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion. President Wang, Excelsior Sinner, and Warden Lagarde. It must be related to our current case. Okay, could you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldon? It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president. If we solve the murder, we solve the kidnapping. Alright, we're counting on you. What the heck is this? When did I grow to become so blessed on people's reaction to Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here in front of is the orphanage as it was 12 years ago. At least, as far as the police reports describe it. Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating 7 AM in the morning. And seemed it hadn't been so knowing. Yeah, from what I heard, the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime. The previous day, in other words, before the incident occurred, meaning none of the relevant footprints should have been obscured by the new snow. I think we need to pay these footprints some special attention. Alright, what's your reaction? Boy howdy, is this a horoscope? All roofs gone green. Must be an artwork or something. I'm seeing green trees, green people, green clothes, everything. They must be real sick. And even the bosses are green. Looks like we wound up slap bang in the middle of the right dang place at the right dang time. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're going to get a word in it. Edgewise here, Mr. Ashmore. I don't think we want to. How dare you, Scarfy? Don't you dare tell anybody. I'll just deny it anyway. It's Rachel. You gotta help me out here, sir. What's the matter, detective? It's about the SS5 incident. What else? I'm not sure when we're in charge anymore. You know. But the top secret file being available to us so quickly after its removal, something seems off. So that got me thinking, and well, that Miss Von Karma went some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released. Precious, Scarvy. I deny everything. It sounds like you went to a lot of trouble for our sake, Francisca. Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case, you'll see. Shifu, I know it's sort of me to ask, but Can we count up for all-time sex? Just once, I'm begging. For all-time sex? It seems a little sentimental, but fine. Count up. 1. Sorry, Shifu. It just doesn't feel the same on my own. It's kinda lonely. Well, it shouldn't matter if there's one of you, or 100. You may be on your own hero, but the pack is always with you. So quit whining about being lonely, and howl like you mean it. Count up. 1, 1, 1, 1. Is he crying? Alright, I love this. Tree planters covered with snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Lang? Yeah, something's not right. I was unable to look at the case file until now. Indeed, you have Chairman Winner, thank for that, it seems. Yeah, but what worries me is, I've seen this scene somewhere before. What? But where? I kept thinking I've got it, but then, it's gone. He appears to be lost in his effort to remember. Perhaps just leave him alone for now. You want me to tell you about the SS5 incident? In a nutshell, my dad couldn't keep the most important person in Zengpa safe. So he put everything on the line to try and figure out what happened. He nearly worked himself to death, trying to solve that case. Got so bad he looked like a ghost. Maybe it would have all been worth it if he could have gotten the people responsible convicted. But he couldn't, and that Lagarde woman got off scot-free. He failed to repay the president for all he'd done for us, and he failed to solve the case. And that's how a family of fools got pulled into this never-ending nightmare. That's enough for you? It sounds to me like one young couple of his family's downfall very bad. I can only imagine how much the experience must have hurt him and his father. We will do all we can to bring this case to us, Agent Lang, I promise you. And I hope that the story you just told us brought a useful clue in doing so. That's all I have to say. That's all you have to say after I poured my heart to you? Why do I waste my time? President Wang changed after the S5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can say. But to cut ties with my family completely, after how close we've been for all those years, my father was desperate to make amends to get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince them to take a letter bank. But he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard maybe? Sorry, there's no point making you sit through old stories that won't change anything anyway. I'll be the judge of that. As warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected any different. That case ruined my father, and my family too. The people who failed to keep the president safe. That's all we were after. That's all we were after that. He threw himself out and started investigation. He became obsessed, in other words. Hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry. Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? The investigation was solid. It was meticulous, and it was accurate, it always is. He interviewed every single one of those kids, and it made sure they told him everything. I wonder if he learned anything of value. The footprints stopped by the body. I guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldon, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that? About the size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoe. These footprints go toward the body and came back. According to the case file, they thought to be the killers. They're about the size 9, pretty average, in other words. It seems the police were unable to determine who the murderer was from them though. Looks chiller than you. Chillers look out there once again. It warm me up. Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Panda? For you, okay, Mister? Anything. And this whole solitaire began right here. Kinda crazy, right? Yes, it is a little. What were Phil's and the chairman up to there? Where were they going with all this? Where indeed? I very much like to know that myself. And I very much like to know when you two are going to admit how much you love your Uncle Eddie. Not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Panda. I'm not taking this seriously at all. He did for about 3 sentences, which is sometimes a record. Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth? I cannot thank you all enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine how I would have felt if he had not come home. Hey, old guy, can't you see you're upsetting her? That was not my intent at all. Look at our little knight in shining armor, defending his mom's honor. Shut up. I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep... That's enough, Sean. Mr. Richard, if you're alone, I would like to apologize again. I felt in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I only ask you to understand that I, Judge Gabriel, hadn't presumed to know that the goddess of justice as well as you. But she was mother, was she not? Of other gods and goddesses? She was. Fair judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she will understand. Perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you have credit for. Thank you, Mr. Richard. What are they even talking about? Don't worry, Sean. I don't have a clue either. So things are more than like a trial. It would seem so. Sentencing is still come, but the guilty verdict shall stand. And do not worry, accessories in connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Richard. Eustace is a changed man. Indeed, simply had some growing to do. But then, Kay included. Kinda feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make it up to him next time I get the chance. And I'm sure that chance will come. But for now, indeed, we need to focus on the case at hand. Sean's big screen debut. We have been so looking forward to it. About that, did you know? Please, I have promised myself I will learn nothing of the movie before I finally see it in the theater. I would rather not spoil the experience. Will we talk about I wasn't about to tell you anything about it. I've already learned too much simply by becoming involved in this case. If you still any further, then prepare to feel the wrath of the goddess. She's invoking the goddess. She must really be looking forward to this movie. That's cute.
Overruled. Overruled.
Butcher kit. Nothing, I guess. Alright, let's continue the investigation. What do you want? Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping. They took you when you went to the garbage disposal area, right? But what were you doing there? It's alright. You don't have to talk for him. You can just ask me himself. Hear that, Mr. Richard? I think it's starting to warm to you. I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on that body. It wasn't far, and I figured they'd be less likely to find them there than if I threw them in a garbage can. I tried to get in there last night too, but it was locked. So I had to come back today and try again. Yeah, but when I was there, somebody came up behind me and put something over my face. Oh yeah, snoozing is easy. Nothing is easy Tracy with Tracy's. The fact that she was struck with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it's a catchy name. However, it was pretty strong, but I never saw their face. I see. Thank you. It's very helpful. What can you tell us about the time between when you're kidnapped and when you're found? Not a whole lot, I'll bet. Losing is easy Tracy with Tracy's. I'll remember waking up feeling cold. I was somewhere big, empty and dark. There were boxes with some other language written on them. I figured it must be a storeroom, but it was actually a giant refrigerator. Business used them to keep stuff chilled. That's okay. When Detective comes you found, they're really safely there. Guess the cooler must have been on until just before I was brought there. Like I said, it was pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some ransom. So I used that to call for help. I see. Well, that you found your way back to us safely. Best say it like you mean it, why don't you? It's not the most crazy sound I've met. Reminds me of a certain somebody else, huh? These planters. According to the case file, the yards touch on 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side. Yes, planters, arranged in a very particular pattern. Once we've seen somewhere before. Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter. Yeah, but look at that one. It's bright yellow. Weird, how come there's only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it. That's a lion lily, if I'm not very much mistaken. A rare member of the family lily kid. Lion lily is it? Wait, don't Judge carefully give President Wang some lion lilies? What is the same flower doing? This can be a coincidence. Can it? I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia. Merced symbolizes the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware you're so knowledgeable when it comes to flowers, Francisca. What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you need to read a little more. I'll fall down. The man witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see? I based this part of the regression on the scene of the crime scene photos. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head. Yeah, from that direct right there, I figured it must have been taken from here in the air. It looked like the blood clot from the head wound and spread over the surrounding area. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Alden's autopsy report. Score the scene, inspect anything. Somebody dropped a yellow flower here. It's a lion lily, right? According to Francisca, yes, their original formation, if I recall correctly. Yep, and she said it symbolizes the bond being painted or tiled, right? It was the bond between parent and child, okay? The cell phone must belong to the victim. You're right. Yeah, says here in the file that Mr. Allen made a call while he was watching the kidnap. A call? Who? His girlfriend. Claims he called her when he saw that the president. She didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in here too if you want to hear it. Please. Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason. And there's another... Damn it! The light's out. I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being... Kidnapped? Anyway. Probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know. Oh. What were the sounds at the end? He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Alden's girlfriend, what was her name? Ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard. Just as I thought. Wait, you mean her revenge for what happened 12 years ago? All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and the personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winner, wasn't she? Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought she was one of the kidnappers. He was one of the kidnappers. So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered the picture. Yeah, here we are. That's... It's the president, right? And somebody's pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. Alden witnessed. So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper? Yes, imagine they are trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lang's father theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is more than the guard. How come they only found the one picture? He probably was unable to take any more before he was attacked. That was the brick used in the murder. Their staff made bricks all around the airfield. Yep, they probably took it from somewhere nearby. Alf Alden, freelance journalist, killed after witnessing the kidnapping of Illinois. Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, huh? It's even worse in the actual crimes and photos. There's a lot of blood. It seems mostly have come from the back of his head, as you can see. That area is completely cracked. Yeah, the autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick. Indeed, I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. It looked like as if clutching on something. And his right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned the case pulse number. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. A button. Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps? Fresh blood, plenty of it. According to the autopsy report, he died from loss of blood due to the blow of the back of his head. Yeah, and that blood spread out over the entire area. Without anybody could have bled that much and survive. Anyway, this certainly seems to be confirmed that the autopsy report said yes. Hi, this arch. You've seen it somewhere before, right? And if you have, it's the same one that says about the entrance of the building today. But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time? It's think the architects worked on the archway into the structure of the new building. The feature is simply the best reheated. I think I heard it somewhere. For once, it seems you might have remember it correctly. But 12 years is a long time to read something. For if it was your lunch, it'd be ruined. So that's what our monstrous hoof prints really were. Wait, what? Call the arrangement of the prints. Now compare it to that of the planters. Wow, that's right. I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. The Chairman Winner was digging around the front of them. He was. And why might he have been doing that? We have piece of evidence in our possession that answer exactly that question. Chairman Winner might have been digging in front of the planters. Piece of evidence. Mr. Winner digging in front of the planters.
Take that! Take that! Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Winner. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of the planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes? Because the report didn't specify which of the planter she meant. I get it, so he wasn't sure which one it was. Which meant he had to try and dig up all 3. Imagine, so yes, poor Chairman Winner. But why all that trouble? What was he looking for? Oh no. Thought it was being hidden or something. But I guess not. What was being hidden? footprints were a key part of this case. There was information about the shoes in the file, right? Yeah. Let's see, this has the clean accounts noted spot. Weight socks, thermal underwear, and some color dress or gray stuff. Brother Circle really made that outfit pop. Why not leave a little? And that's it for the patient rundown. Shout out to whoever left this amazing helpful comments. I thought I was going to play an investigation report. There are burn marks on this pillow. The report says there was fire sometime in the evening of the incident. Fire. Let's see. When was it again? Yeah, one of the airplanes set the fire with some kerosene. Some sort of prank, probably. They sound like a likely bunch. Possibly. Too likely. Since the rent exposed, our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. I think that's all about we can learn from the scene now. Alright, how about to show you how things look earlier in the night? That will be very much appreciated. Could you take us back the moment at which the victim witnessed kidnapping? Sure, I'll use the photograph we took this morning. There's Mr. Aldon in the bar. And then there's the president and his kidnapper out by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Alden provided. That was why he thought some kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Pipila girl. Oh shit, sorry. And how he ended up she was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. But when the case went on trial, Cecil Winner put a big hole in that theory. He did? Yeah, after all, the president and the kidnapper were actually on the grounds of the orphanage. So it was hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection. Huh, so they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage. Detective Buster got find evidence of the scene, and then prosecutor came along and twisted at their own ends. Winner and the girl were working together. They had some kind of a deal, I'm sure of it. They are saying that Chairman Winner was working with the kidnapper. Your father was convinced that the god was the culprit, correct? And you say he was gifted and through investigator. Then he must have had support his theory then. Yes, Mr. Alden message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about. Agent Lang's father, J. Long Lang. Trusted ally and confidant of President Wang. He discovered those that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Win. Our first priority should be to find out what they were. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Oh! Hey, that's normal. It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder, huh? And that muffler was all wet and its little button I said fell out. Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy, I bet some kids took it as a stupid prank. Not that piece of living though. Maybe they had potential. You think one of their friends took it? I'm not sure. I think in fact it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Lee Junwang. He was president of Zenko even back then. Does he look any younger? It's kinda dark, can't really tell. Indeed, and the situation being what it is, especially his expression is somewhat distorted. I wonder where they took him after this. We don't know that yet, but depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough. The president kidnapped her. We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance. Roger that. Red Leather. Alright, let's have a look at you. The first thing noticed that they're holding the president at gunpoint, trying to look all cool and tough, waving a pistol around. However, who it is? Whoever it is, they stop. Their coat and hat completely cover their face, so importantly, we can identify them that way. Turning their collar up and pulling their head down, trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper. And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they're particularly nervous. Yeah, hand in the pocket. Classic show. You suck. Okay, that's what she said to judge by the appearance. Well, yes, but I didn't really like that.
Eureka!
This snowman is missing certain something, would you say? Yeah, he's right eye. Indeed, luckily we managed to locate it. The button Mr. Alden was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does the button contradict? The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood. This means he must have being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if after being struck, Mr. Alden lost his balance, and reached out to grab something steady himself, the snowman? The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. I get it, so you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked. I am, within arm's reach to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that place. Right, but his footprints only go far as the planter. He never came back this way. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints. Alright, take us back to the scene when Mr. Alden's body was found. But the footprints on the left definitely match up with Mr. Alden's shoes, right? So what's the deal? Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. Okay, let's go again. Can we really be sure that these are the Mr. Alden's footprints? Well, they're the same size, at 12 each, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight in the middle of planters where his body was found. But when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed his button from the snow. Well, being granted, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would be beyond even me. Some Everest job stretching its arms that far, basically impossible. I think we can be certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But we can be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes. Perhaps take another look at them. I think the shoes didn't fit. The shoes is way too big even for the victim. The shoes, they match the footprints. Huh? These aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. So these prints, they go right up where the victim was found, and they stop right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So are the prince by his head his so are the prince by his head is the one that lit away and come back? No, I don't think so. There's just more. So neither set belongs to him. Then how did he get here? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then, where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do? You bet I do. You're talking treasure, right, dude? He must have been digging up the ransom money. The ransom money. $100 billion is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. Huh. Glad you agree. No, no. I think Mr. Alden's body. How else do you explain the body scratch in his hand? And the tool suggests that he was killed somewhere near the storm. I better take a closer look. As for the scene. It sounds the same. Wait, what the hell? President going forward toward the body away from the case houses they must have been from the murder. From the caravanters they get closer to the orphanage gate. That's just because there's less snow over there. Over here, huh? Be that as it may, it certainly doesn't help with matching the prints up with the name and face. Huh? Look, there's a brick missing. The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Oh. Poor snowman, it's not looking good. It can be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it is. And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth. All you have to do is wait, kid. I have to work to solve these mysteries. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, won't you say? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed, and what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over the planters, Mr. Alden would have seen them right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, okay? Mr. Alden wasn't standing by planters. He was next to the snowman. Gotcha. Alright, here goes. This isn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, no matter how you look at this, it just doesn't work. Huh. Indeed, everybody who was present is in exactly the same spot. So where did we go around? One of the pieces of evidence on which we base our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was fake somehow? But which one was it? The father.
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldon? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like it's something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie? They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. Still, did it record or not? Okay, it's recording. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered the one picture of Mr. Alden's camera, right? Indeed, I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there and replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yes, that makes total sense. But this picture was actually taken after Mr. Alden was killed. No way. And there we have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Alden saw at all. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Alden thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph is the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out. Oh yeah? He left the voicemail too. He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing. Oh, come on. Kidnapper could have been standing.
Take that!
Alright, let's see the voicemail one more time. Okay, I guess he was inside.
Take that!
What the? You mentioned some of the stuff you could see, right? Oh, fuck. I didn't know. What was he seeing? At the orphanage, maybe?
Take that!
I'm not gonna have double help, I guess. Alright, let's check. Something else was here and there's another. Damn it, the light out so I can't quite see, but it looked like he was being kidnapped anyway. But I thought I saw legend. I guess, anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on, President. Bang is here for some reason and there's another. Damn it, the lights out so I can't quite see, but the lights. The lights.
Take that!
All this statement from Mr. Alden first. Damn it, the lights out. Two of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building. Alright, we'll check the simulation to reflect everything will. Sure. And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Yes, which will certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they removed the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the person, which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to the trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. Imagine it will also affect our understanding on the scene from the body was found. Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump? To switch between the two regression? I need to first persuade Target K. When the body was found. And there we have it. It looks like this, huh? What is it, Mr. Richard? Kidnapping, a murder, and now a fire? There's too much going on. I can't keep up. The fire was started earlier on the evening of the incident, if I remember right. Before the kidnapping and murder, in other words. Does that mean something? The timing of fire? I wonder if it might. Yes. Then there's something here that can be corrected if the fire actually happened first. Compare it to the evidence. Fire, fire, fire. Fire happens first. Now maybe? Oh, so you wanna know all about this exciting new feature, huh? I'm not sure I do actually. Hey, don't be like that, just take and please rise on what I have to tell you. It will allow the use of the regression in a bunch of different and super interesting ways. So you're going to tell me the moment what I answer. At the moment, you get the regression based on the original police reports. And another based on what you learned from Mr. Alden's voicemail. Anytime you want to switch between them, you just say the word. So this is where Mr. Alden really made his case. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the stage photograph over the spot between the planters. To the footprints, the fact that they go over the tree over there and come back, yes, I think they tell us something important. That they were left by whoever carried them over there. There's no more to be found. Okay. Blood on the smell. A lot of it. It certainly looks as if murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, but we just figured that Mr. Alden was killed by the snowman, right? We did. And I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? But the police report said that the blood was Mr. Alden's. Did I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Miller? The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record about something this small. But then why go to all the trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead? He was unable to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Alden's body. And he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah. They would have found traces of blood they used that for sure. Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the result for any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official result with a doctored copy. So we've been looking at a forgery this whole time. That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Alden's scholars would recovered blood too. It does, and if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever got this disease, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Alden's body was placed here. I get it, which means that the other person's blood was split not long before Mr. Alden was killed. I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? As an Alden's contradiction. Oh yeah.
Eureka!
Oh, why am I wrong again? We need to take another look and think about it. The fire.
Eureka!
There's a clear contradiction. Huh? In the blood stain? The blood is clearly cut off, or the snow was melted by the fire. Which means that the blood in question was split before the fire was started. Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, huh? If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually started after what happened, the kid who lit it might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events. No need to know more about this fire. No, we need to know more about this fire. You! Yes, Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything, and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right onto it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Zengfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should? What kind of something exactly? I thought you had seen the scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remember where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, or at least of something very much like it. What? It looked like it was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly when the child set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu. Oh my god, we lost so much blood. Shifu, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and also brought the picture from your father's office. Oh, and one more about time. What gave you, huh? Well, hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? This is it. This is the picture I remember. Oh, Bodhidharma and Zengfa. Bodhidharma has a dog and President Wang has his dog. Like, could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident? It should like a kid drew it, huh? Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Shifu, there's what now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor, why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation, although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire too? Sure, here. If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of the bed on the evening of the incident. Huh? And then disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, a kid, really? That's horrible. But certainly not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. Huh? What's this? What was it doing in that case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen it somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could well be connected.
Eureka!
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that it might be missing for horn from this stuffed toy. Hey, that was President Wangs. You've seen it before? Of course, he always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see it has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on mic unlike more recording? Heh, you never know. The toy itself should still be on the 51st floor. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. What was the man in black wanted to ask us about? Here it is, Shifu, the Taurosaurus dolls, just like you asked. Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor now. Well, does the handpan interference with the president's plushie? It fits perfectly. And any more recording on there? Hi, Jijun. Sorry, President Wang, it's me, Emily. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you are visiting the country soon, and I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to turn it off right now. What's gotten into Judge Gabriel? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please. You see, I had a baby, a beautiful little baby boy. No way. So, you were husband and wife? And this is their son? No way. Your beautiful little baby boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I want to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fan. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think? No. Sean Fan. The kid. And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we will be. Goodbye. What? He was my dad? I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gabriel? Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him. And he was aware of this? Yes, of course. His mother, Emily Fan, she died 5 years ago. We were cousins. But we were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sister. And so, when she died, it seems only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret. And I decided that the best way to do that would be for him to never know in the first place. That's quite a lot to learn from recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then send the plushie to the president. Hey. Yes, Sean? You're sure he was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. So, they weren't husband and wife. Who's Emily? There's nothing here that indicates Emily. So I guess I have to postpone it. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Sengfa. Makes sense, that line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage? She did, but only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Not so fast!
Sorry, Judge Gabriel, but I have to ask. Emily, the lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why didn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the interview that night. Someone was tailing her. I'll bet that was Chairman Winner's doing. though sadly we can prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. Then she died 5 years ago. That can be easy for Sean. Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? We could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over. You think I can buy myself a soda? This is important. It's about me. I'm staying. Oh, that didn't work at all. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Emily was gone, but also that you are alive and well. More than well. But I... It makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gable was so keen to avoid sharing details of their meeting. Yes, she would have had to share the truth about Sean too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Emily, that I knew her well. These flowers bore special significance for the two of them, see? President Wayne gave Emily a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now, he too is dead. If only he had lived, Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. Shifu! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Zengpa. President Wang's will. What? The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so... What? This is... What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging sons as his son. Sean's names appear in the president's will? And we're certain of that the document is authentic. The president wrote it himself. Sure we are. It's all, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. They'll want to analyze it back home, to be sure, but I stake my name on it being genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader, a child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Sean! Sean! Why does Edgehog was the always one to chase the running person first?